Scott, this is a weird one, man. To see this once again, Paragon. I never really thought I'd see this actually ever happen again, but here we go. Paragon is shutting down again. That's right. Weird to say this, but here's how it's going down. This is Ricky Fretch over at comicbook.com. Before Fortnite became a massive hit, developer Epic Games had several other projects on the line. One of those was a third-person MOBA game called Paragon. The game launched into early access back in 2016. Dude, I was there 137 hours. I had invested.
That was your MOBA.
That was I've never been a MOBA guy, and then all of a sudden Paragon arrives. It's this third-person perspectives. I'm like, what is this? And I've been hooked ever since until 2018, because that's when it went. That's when it shut down. Servers were shut down in 2018. However, the developer would then give away all of the assets for free, which led to the developer, Netmarble, building a new third-person MOBA called Paragon, the Overprime. Unfortunately, Netmarble announced today that Paragon is once again closing its doors. It's frustrating news for fans, but Paragon, the Overprime, has always had a mixed reaction from fans. Since its launch in 2022, the game has gone through several changes in seasons, but has been unable to cultivate enough of an audience to keep the doors open. Yeah. In the announcement, the developer said, quote, "After careful consideration, we conclude that we will not be able to provide a stable and satisfying service moving forward. Because of this, we have made the decision to end the service on Monday, April 22nd, 2024. We are deeply sorry for the unexpected and unfortunate termination of the service. We deeply cherish the engagement, encouragement, and support you have given us until now, despite our shortcomings." End quote. Of course, it's worth noting that the Overprime wasn't the only game that tried to remake what players liked about Paragon. Fault, Elder Orb, was the first revival project from the team at Strange Matter Studios, which I have not heard of since. Scott, I don't know what their Fault actually, I think, closed as well. However, the game shut down, in 2022. However, Predecessor from Omeda, this is where I come in, my friend. Welcome back, everybody. Predecessor from Omeda Studios is still up and running. The game launched into early access in late 2022 and hasn't had its 1.0 release yet. Omeda is still actively working on it, with the latest patch hitting on February 6th. It looks like players have been mixed about recent development, but Predecessor might be the last gasp for games based on Paragon. Here's the catch. They launched it also, Scott, just before the holidays on PlayStation. I've been over in the world of PlayStation playing. Dude, I'm 70 hours in right now over on Predecessor, and I think it's going strong. I play on a nightly basis. Dude, I am in there for a game, maybe 2 games, sometimes 3 games a night to play, to get my fix of Predecessor, because there isn't a MOBA like it. Paragon, the Overprime, was a different breed of Paragon. Predecessor feels more like what Paragon used to, but now they're starting to introduce their own heroes. We've got a new mid laner coming on the 27th. So yeah, I'm all invested. I'm all in on Predecessor. The other ones haven't really, like, I tried Fault, didn't really care for it. It just didn't click the way I was hoping it would. I'm like, okay, cool. Somebody's got the assets from Epic to then bring this beloved game over, because there hasn't been... Dude, when you think of a MOBA, what do you think of?
Yeah, League of Legends. That's all there is.
Right? League of Legends or Dota 2. There's Dota 2. Dota 2 is out there.
I do forget about Dota 2. Yeah. It feels like the color variant of League of Legends.
So, when you think of a MOBA, you're thinking a top-down perspective, and then you actually click on the mouse. Smite is a... Yeah.
That's a little bit of third person. But there's a Smite 2, and I haven't checked in on that series forever.
Smite 2 is coming. It's not out yet, but Smite 2 is coming. So it's funny how I've never been a MOBA guy, and then all of a sudden Paragon kicks in, and I've been following MOBAs ever since as to where my Paragon is gone, where it's landing, what's going on next, and how this is going. So I've had the fortunate pleasure, very fortunate pleasure, of talking with Robbie over at Omeda Studios about the game, about Predecessor, the future of the game. We hung out, dude, we played the game for like an hour and a half together. So we played a couple matches. Like, it was a ton of fun. Robbie used to be a YouTuber that was hooked on Paragon, created content. Then Omeda kicked in, And then he came over to them to become the CEO of the company and is focused on carrying their vision forward and making a name. Dude, they have... Here's the funniest part. You ready for this? Omeda had a $2 million investment from Epic Games to make Predecessor. Yeah. Since then, they also... Yeah, right, exactly. Here's the funny part, though, right? It's the company that shut down the game that is now handing out money to help make the game again.
Yeah, well, if they're not going to do it, they'll let somebody else do it. I suppose that works.
It works for me.
They're doing a great job, especially if there's growth coming to PlayStation and otherwise. It's successful this time around. They finally made it work, it seems.
It seems so far. We're not in full release, but it's coming. The third season is wrapping up, and at the end of the month, we're getting, that's what I said, we're getting a new hero, we're getting a new mid laner. And changing from this point and click top-down perspective, right, where you're just smashing your button, clicking around, and then trying to pull off your moves and things like that, it's been then taken over to this third-person perspective and changed everything. So though one studio is shutting down, another one seems to be filling the void. At least it has for me and lots of others, especially when they brought it over to PlayStation. That, like, every time Omeda put out a post, people were just in the feed. Every time I watch them in the feed on Twitter, when's it coming to console? When's it coming to console? When's it coming to console, right? So PlayStation's first, Xbox is coming next, which is exciting. So then we're opening it up to other people as well, and it's gonna be free to play. That's the other side of it too. You're not have to go pay. Dude, I jumped all in. It cost me like I think it was about $170 when I dove in. But I got all these other packs, this, that, and the other.
You're a founder almost at that point. Yeah.
I bought the founders pack, is what they called it. Yeah, I bought the founders pack because I was like, I want to support these guys. I don't want to lose the game again, right? So if I can help, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I did here. And then I've been talking to Omeda ever since. So they've been very gracious to us. We've given away codes for the game, this, that, and the other. Cross-play is there, so we're playing that right now with PlayStation and Steam players, which is very cool. So we're all over the place, right? The more you're able to expand, we talk about how Xbox is moving over to PlayStation. This is another one of those games that you have to be everywhere to keep this community alive. And I'm
especially as a free-to-play. That's the way to do it.
Well, yeah. And now I wonder, on the other side of it, does Overprime players move over to Predecessor? Right? Does that... So it is unfortunate news, without a doubt, that a studio has to shut down a game. Making a game is not easy. But I've seen them pivot this whole time, trying to figure out what does work, right? And they haven't seemed to grasp on it. Where I feel Omeda kind of really has taken the reins and going, okay, it's not perfect. The game is not perfect, but they've got I think they've got a vision, and they're sticking to it. And I think they have the investment and the money, and then they're starting to build the studio up where they're going to have enough hands on deck to start changing it and making it better for the future and better for other players. But as one door closes, Scott, sometimes another door opens.